You know, in today's age of streaming television and other media like that, it's becoming more popular than ever that a thing will come out and you'll hear about it on the internet for weeks, and it's like, okay, fine, I'll watch it, and you watch it and it sucks, right? So that plays a large part into why it took so long for me to get around to talking about this, but it was not the case this time.
I am the A-L-E-X-A-N-D-E-R. We are meant to be a colony that runs independently.
Hamilton, Mark Hamill. Hamilton is, well, I feel like I don't even need to give a breakdown of what it is. It's the most popular thing on Disney Plus right now. But in case you're one of the 13 people who haven't seen it yet, first, go watch it. I'm not going to spoil it, but I just want you to watch it because as of right now, you're missing out on something that is almost transcendent above anything else I've ever seen on the stage. But like I was saying, in case you haven't seen it, it's a musical representation of Alexander Hamilton's life, which, you know, covers a large part of the American Revolution and the early years of the nation's life shortly after that. Pretty much everything from when he got to America up to his duel with Aaron Burr, which I guess is a spoiler, but I mean, if there's nothing else you know about Alexander Hamilton, it's that he died dueling Aaron Burr. Come on. You saw that in the Got Milk commercial. Interestingly enough, though, on the topic of, like, if there's nothing else that you know about Alexander Hamilton, chances are there is nothing else that you know about him unless you've done your own research on him, because this is all stuff that you aren't taught in school, and it's like the most informative history lesson I've ever had in my life. And I've seen other interpretations of the Revolutionary War. You know, I've played Assassin's Creed 3, I've watched The Patriot, but it's like, this is like the most I've actually learned about the formative years of this nation out of the 4 years of social studies that I took in high school, the history that I myself have sought out, just so much stuff that I just never learned. And not only are you getting served up all this information over the course of 2.5 hours, but it's, like I said, it's a musical, but it's not just any musical. It's like a hip opera. And I knew that going in, but I wasn't prepared for how actually good it was going to be. The musical talent. Hold on, just a second while I think about this. If you've seen Mary Poppins Returns, which I promised I was going to review and never did, then the chimney sweep in that movie, he's played by Lin-Manuel. I somehow forgot. I lost his last name. I don't know what happened. Point is, he's the guy that plays Alexander Hamilton in this, and he wrote all the music, and he pretty much composed all the music that you're seeing or something like that. But when you look at him, Lin-Manuel Miranda, that's his name. Point is, when you're watching, you don't expect him to have this flow to him and this swagger to him when he's dancing in certain ways, which is another thing. I'll get to the choreography of the whole thing in a second. But when he's talk rapping or when he's singing or when he's just beatboxing or spitting raps or just whatever it is, it's just like, it's all so captivating. And it's all so well written too. Like, he's not only is he up here rapping better than most of the people that are in the industry right now, but he's writing raps for other people who are also bringing it better than most of the people in the industry right now. Especially Daveed Diggs, the guy that plays Thomas Jefferson in it. He was my favorite. Now every time I think of Thomas Jefferson, I'm going to think of this black guy with super curly hair, but also I'm going to think of this crushed velvet coat that just looks magnificent, and I want that coat. I want one. Now, I mentioned choreography. This play stands above most of its peers because there are two circles in the middle of the stage that turn sometimes in opposite directions, but whatever the purpose of the song is, the ring will turn a certain way, and the actors will adapt to it in a very interesting way. It can create a different feeling depending on what the scene is trying to convey. It can convey helplessness or like being frozen in time, or like feeling like your life is spiraling out of control, or just not knowing what to do. Just any type of feeling that is needed to be portrayed by the characters and the actors on stage spinning in a circle. It's capable of pulling that off in pretty much an unparalleled way, and it's kind of sickening just how good this is. And I said that, like, it's pretty much a history lesson through music. the music isn't just good at conveying the information that it's trying to give you in an entertaining way, because that is the primary purpose of it, but it's also just good as music. Like, I've been listening to certain songs from the soundtrack for the last like 3 days because it's just good. Like, there are plenty of songs here that you will probably have stuck in your head after you're done watching it, and if you go back and watch it again, you'll just somehow know half the lyrics. Like, you didn't even pay attention that well to have been memorizing it, but you just know it, and you just start singing along, and it's like, all right, well, this is what we're doing now. I can live with that. And it's just, like, it's not even just, like, catchy, right? Because catchy can be applied to anything. Bop was catchy at one point. Call Me Maybe was catchy at one point. But it's like, it scratches, like, a certain itch in the back of your musical brain where it stays in there. And I don't know if it's because it's, like, there's a certain feeling that you get from learning these things that you didn't know before. It's like if Epic Rap Battles of History was unironically good, like, beyond the first time you hear it and it's like, oh, there's a couple clever lines in there, but, like, it actually had really strong re-listen value, which maybe it used to at some point and just doesn't anymore. But this is the type of stuff that I feel like Epic Rap Battles of History could have been if it, I don't know, focused more on actually, like, the music itself and less on the costumes and the green screen effects, but that's just how I feel about it. And I know I singled out Daveed Diggs earlier in the video as, like, my favorite person that was involved. That does not mean by any means that anyone else that was involved slacked in any way. I mean, Lynn brought it, I can't remember any other actors' names, but James Madison, John Lawrence, George Washington, all these figures that were part of the story, the way that they were portrayed on stage is absolutely captivating. It's very easy to pick anybody that was in the show as your favorite. It's like the Guardians of the Galaxy of stage plays. Like, no matter who it is, they're all built to be someone's favorite. At least that's how it feels when I'm watching it. I'm just like, man, I can latch onto any single performance in this entire thing. But there's just something about the way that Daveed carries himself as Thomas Jefferson that I'm just like, man. Just like, imagine, I don't know if this is spoilers for American history, but imagine not being in America as America is becoming America and, you know, earning its freedom, and then you just show up, like, the very next year, and it's like, I wasn't here, but I'm partially in charge now. What did I miss? It's one of those situations where you didn't do any work, but you still get your name on the project, and you all pass anyway. But you have the nerve to complain about it after. I don't want to. It's hard to, like, because it's weird to dance around spoilers of something that should have been common knowledge. But I mean, the way that it's presented, it feels like a show or a film where I just can't talk too much about what goes on in it because I feel like I'm spoiling it for you. Like, I gotta wrap this thing up soon, don't I? I don't know how I'm gonna do that. One thing that I will say is interesting about it, though, is that, you know, it's won plenty of Tonys by now, right? Like, it was a huge deal. It started about 4 years ago, but now that it's on Disney Plus, now that it's streamable, is it up for Emmys? That would be cool. That would be very interesting to see. It would be cool to see a play go on to win Tonys and Emmys. And I kind of want to bring up a certain aspect of, you know, its origin, but I don't want to do that because it'll seem like I'm missing the point and looking at superficial things. So if you kind of know what I'm talking about, then it's cool that the person who made this is the person who made this and that it got so popular despite who made it. But if you understood any of that, good on you. But it's weird because I don't even know, like, how to class. I don't know what I'm going to call this. I don't want to call it Hamilton movie review or anything like that. I guess I could just call it the Hamilton play review. But it's like the way it's edited together, because that's the thing. It's like it's recorded for multiple. My lighting just went away. I'm just going to keep talking. It's recorded for multiple performances. So it's cut together as a movie or a show would be. But it's not a movie or a show. What is up with my lighting and where did it go? This is the man behind the curtain right here. Just me grabbing this and opening it up. Anyway, but you know, I'll figure it out. Hamilton, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever it is, comment below and educate me. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to have Washington on your side. I probably left this part in. Get out of here.